Hey everyone, I'm Black Lightning. Was Satan the good guy? God was supposed to be the good guy in the Bible, but God has more blood on his hands than the devil. So who's the protagonist in the Bible? In the story of Noah, God commanded Noah to build an ark for his family and for every pair of animal on earth. He was going to flood everyone on earth with rainwater because they were evil. Even the children and babies were evil. The children were probably throwing temper tantrums, and the babies were probably keeping their parents up during the night with constant crying. No matter what they were doing, they deserved to die in God's eyes. So God killed them by drowning them, but I'm pretty sure an omnipotent being could have found a different way to rid the world from evil. If he could magically allow all of the living species on the ark to breathe in a thin atmosphere, magically keep them all well fed for 40 days and 40 nights, and magically restore the plant life on earth after the flood, I'm very sure he could magically rid the world of evil people in a less severe way. In this next example, God witnessed Israelites worshiping Baal and sexual immorality with Moabite women. So God killed 24,000 of them with a plague. This God, with all the power in the world, is jealous of a false deity? If this God was real, I could worship a bag of chips, and God would kill me for that. The Bible is filled with blood and destruction caused by God. 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 23 to 24. God made bears mauled 42 kids for mocking a guy's bald head. Genesis chapter 19 verse 4 to 5. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because people were evil and committing homosexual behavior. So a mob of homosexuals came to Lot's house and wanted to rape the two men in Lot's house, who were actually angels in disguise. Lot's brilliant idea was to offer his virgin daughters in their place. Great father, by the way. I can see why God chose him. So God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah and spared Lot's family except his wife. She turned around to see the destruction like most of us would do in that situation, and God turned her into a pillar of salt. That part was just ridiculous. God probably wanted one more death to fill his quota. God is clearly a tyrant and a barbaric deity. Who needs a devil when you have a Christian God of the Bible? So here's why I asked, was Satan the good guy? Throughout the Bible, Satan's description was that he was wicked and heartless. But what has he done in the Bible to warrant such a description? God was the one who killed people in wicked and heartless ways. Satan was just luring people away from God. After reading what God has done, that doesn't seem like a bad idea. You can say God wouldn't have done these things if it wasn't for the original sin, but in this story, God is just as incompetent and evil as he was in the other stories. In the story of Adam and Eve, God gave them free reign in the Garden of Eden as long as they didn't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If he didn't want them to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, why put it there in the first place? If God was concerned about the safety and well-being of his creations, he wouldn't have put that tree where it could be easily accessible by Adam and Eve. He also wouldn't have created Adam and Eve to be so easily deceived by a talking serpent. He's supposed to be Alpha and Omega, so why didn't he see this coming? Christians say that Satan was the serpent that talked to Eve, but Satan wasn't mentioned yet in the Bible. So why did God create a talking serpent to deceive Adam and Eve? Adam and Eve eventually eat from the tree and God punishes them. Why was God so upset about that? Gaining knowledge about good and evil seems like a good thing. Although technically good and evil is subjective, perhaps if Adam and Eve ate more of the tree, they would have realized that God was the real evil. Satan tries to warn humanity of the evils God has done, but God did such a good job at painting Satan as the bad guy. He probably lied about hell being a place of eternal torture. God probably described it that way because your life would be a living hell without God in it. Such a narcissistic God, huh? Even though Satan's hands are clean, God managed to turn the whole world against him. I'm not suggesting everyone become a Satanist, because this is all a work of fiction. All of the main characters in the Bible have a high probability of never existing in the first place. If this was real, I'd be more afraid of God than Satan. God will torture you in the worst ways imaginable if you don't live according to his unchanging strict rules. I wanted to add cool outro animations to my videos, but school took away a lot of my time again. Maybe next time. So I'll be back next month. Anyways, thanks for watching and take care.